What's up, everybody? It's your boy Scotty P, and we're here for episode 6 of the Scotty P Breakdown. Today we are covering William Tackett. He was the 77 kilogram winner at the ADCC West Coast Trials, and the dude was on fire. He had 7 matches total. He got 5 submissions in a row, and then he won the last 2 by points. But no ref's decision, so he was a clear winner. And let me tell you, he was the number 1 seed, and he came in to do work, and that's exactly what he did. Let's get into it. All right, first matchup, he gets a beautiful wrestle up. Check it out. As soon as the dude steps in, he wrestles right up. So perfect timing. Comes up. He goes for this. Look, he's got the single leg. Goes for the back trip. And look how he stays in front of his hips. Very key. And he just keeps circling with that body grip. All right, but the way he was like keeping his chest upright while also staying in front of his leg, money. And look, he's in a half guard. Head and arm, staying heavy. Passes right over. The dude attempts a buggy choke, but look, he moves his elbow and puts it in front of the hip, so there is no buggy choke there. And then this is where it gets really interesting. He ends up doing a side triangle, which is a variation of a triangle. So not a basic move. I mean, this is, super slick, and he just sneaks it on him. Look, he kind of like threw his leg over the top of his hand and like chicken wing, and the dude had to pull his arm out, which gives him the side triangle. I mean, that's money. That I want to know how many people hit a side triangle at the trials. I would say that was the only one. Real quick, look, he goes for side control, and instead of taking the back, he just sets him up for a side triangle. And I think he's like pinning that arm right there, and then he steps over the top of it, and then pretty much pulls him over and then squeezes on top of his arm, so he has to pull it out, which sets up this triangle. And he just grabs his foot and gets the finish. I mean, that's money right there. Side triangle from side control. Dope. Let's move on to the next one. All right, second match. I just got to say this. This is a no-gi match. Don't jump guard. Like, what are you thinking? This ain't the gi. Unless you got a guard like Janji Habiro, you sit on your butt like a man. Like, you sit down and pull open guard like the rest of us. Jump guard, like, this is what happens. He jumps guard, and William Tackett's like, all right, you want to pull guard on me? I'm going to pull guard on you. And then gets the outside heel hook. Locks at both legs. Yep. And then does that modified, I've heard this called like a pistol grip. But yeah, I'll show you that one more time. And again, if you take anything from this match, this is don't jump guard. Just don't do it. I mean, that's immediately gonna get you like a fire burning in your opponent's heart. You jump guard on me, I'm doing something like this too. Not this specifically, my knees would explode. But look, yeah, he just throws his leg over, reframes, and then he just waits till he gets his other leg right over the top. And now he's got both of his knees pinched with his legs over the top of him and a triangle grip. I mean, that's extremely hard to escape. Goes, and then he just does that pistol grip heel hook. Yep. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens. Let's move on to the next one. Another crazy one, all right? This dude, people make the mistake of trying to frame and turn away to create space, but that's what gets your guard passed and your back taken. All right, so William Tackett is going to take this dude's back here with just, Jiu-Jitsu 101, head and arm, heavy pressure. Look at that cross face, the square and back up. But I want to say like the number one mistake that's made here is the dude stands up with William Tackett on his back. And this is just something I got to say. Like, you don't want to stand up when you got one of the best guys on your back. I wouldn't want to stand up with anyone that's like tall and lanky, personally. Like, if they can get a body triangle on you, you don't want to stand up with them in a body triangle. The mat's going to help you scrape them off your back. So you don't want to I mean, it's all fun and games when you're in a local tournament or you're in practice. Yo, look at that spin right there. Spins, takes it back, puts him right in a body triangle. That's money. I mean, the dexterity in William Tackett's knees is mind-blowing. But when someone takes your back, the mat's there to help you. You can put the mat in between them and you by scraping your back to the mat. When you stand up, there's nothing to help you. I mean, it is possible to get a 2-on-1 and like put them in front of you and maybe use gravity to help you. But I mean, when you're going against one of the best in the world and you can see like the dexterity he has in his knees, like I would not recommend standing up. So look how he's like staying on his back, and he's trying to use a power half. I'd say he's a little too off on the neck, but then the dude stands up, and it's like all you're doing is wearing yourself out. And William Tackett just brutalizes him from here. I mean, literal backpack gang right now. I'm going to speed it up, but, you know, you're just going to see just this breaking down of a human right now. So, yeah, like I said, don't stand up. Use the mat. Walk your shoulders and walk your shoulders to the mat. You know, it's the little, like, shimmying and keeping them in front of you. Maybe if he was barely hanging on to it and you wanted to, you know, shake him off and use gravity, but, dude, this body lock is like, I mean, you ain't getting that off you unless you literally, like, pin it to the mat and then use your feet to scrape it apart. And, yeah, he gets the finish here. Money. He gets 3 rear naked chokes in a row. So the last place you want William is on your back. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, look, you see. Next match. All right, so this one he's going against Nick Ronan, who's a Sarah BJJ black belt, a Matt Serra black belt. And, you know, I mean, I've trained with these guys. I was under a Matt Serra affiliate, and Nick Ronan is really good. So is Jason Rao. And, yeah, look at that first escape and look at that Granby roll. I mean, Nick started off on top, but what you'll find out is that William Tackett is one of the best at counter jiu-jitsu. It's like right when you think you got him, he essentially gets you. And you see that with this little scramble right here. Wrestles up, gets on top. Look at that body grab, which we've seen before. And then that crossface. They get a reset. And you're going to see another textbook back take. Look, he's in the leg ride position. Look how he's over the top of his hip. I love that. When you got the leg ride position and you clamp it over the top of their hip, it just makes it so much easier to get the full back take afterwards, because you have more control than just holding on to one leg. You're actually controlling both hips and a leg, if that makes any sense. And, you know, I'm telling you, the way he catches the finish in this match is truly dope. And I'm going to speed it up here because he kind of just works him in the back for a while here with different attempts. Working them. All right. This is where it gets interesting. Look, all right. He's going to set up like a rear arm triangle. So look, rear arm triangle. He's got his head and his arm. He's squeezing as hard as he can. And now he's got to pull his arm down to defend, and he just goes right over the top. So he puts him in a rear arm triangle like this, where the dude's essentially getting choked like this. And the way he defends is by pulling his arm away so he can create separation in his shoulder. And as soon as he does, he goes, and just right over the top with a traditional. And then, like, even bloodies his nose a little bit. Like, yo, that's monstrous jiu-jitsu right there. Because he's not, like, being brutal or you know, kind of being dirty and going up under the nose or anything like that. This dude's using strategy, tactics, and intensity to get him to finish. So, I'm going to show you that one more time real quick. He gets up underneath the arm, sets up a rear arm triangle, squeezes him as hard as he can. Ronan's got to stretch his arm out, and as soon as he does, right over the top. Oh, man, that shit is sick. I fucking love that. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so in the next match, he's going against Jonathan Sativa, I don't know. But off a leg counter, Sativa enters a leg, and William essentially just plays great tactics, clears it, puts him in like a headquarters position, and then just flips his leg over and takes the back. I mean, he does this literally 3 times to people. He gets them off to one angle to where their both knees are facing the same direction, and then he just like uses his wide base, his awesome flexibility, and then just flips his leg over and puts himself into side control, and then just gets on top, uses a lot of pressure, and he takes it back. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense because you can't really even sense when he's about to take your back because he's so flexible and got such great movement that he literally just like slides and then throws his hooks right over you and you don't even see it coming. I just know that, you know, when I set up these back takes, it takes a long time, like for me to like put myself in the right position and really get my legs and knees around someone's body. It kind of takes me a little bit of time, but William has perfected it where he's just like and he's already there. So beautiful. Look, he's in this top head and arm, really putting pressure, and watch how quickly he's going to slide around and take the back. It's going to be beautiful. Look, he's using that foot to clear the foot. Heavy pressure, heavy pressure. Goes high, slides right around. Look, traps the arm. Yeah. Dude, I thought it was a rear naked choke, but he gets a rear triangle. That's fucking badass. Let's run it back real quick, just right at the end there, after he takes the back. Look, when he does it, he's so high, he's able to throw his foot right over the arm. And look, he's like keeping tight on the head and arm, and then he just pulls his foot right up. And then look how he goes high on the wrist, all right? He's not pulling at the elbow, he's high on the wrist, so that it's more of like a Kimura instead of a straight arm bar. Yeah. This is the kind of shit that I like to do, is take people's backs, go really high, trap the arm, and turn it into a rear triangle. I mean, you ain't escaping from that. Sick. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so here he's going against Chris Wojcik. This dude was beating everybody. It was so funny. Earlier in the bracket, he went against Cody Steele and won, and which is William Tackett's training partner. And it was just like this surreal moment where all the cameras are on Cody Steele and everyone's, you know, waiting to see this match. And, you know, Chris just puts on an impeccable performance and gets the win, and essentially does that to multiple people, and everyone's wondering who this dude is. And, gets to the semifinals with William Tackett and just, makes a critical error. I'll show you. They're both kind of going back and forth on wrestling, and William gets this perfect double. Just 2-on-1, throws it up, goes right underneath. And look, this is what I try to tell my guys. When you shoot a double, the best thing that you can do is circle. Look, he goes tripod and then just circles around. And the mistake that Chris makes is by going for that Kimura. The Kimura is awesome, but in wrestling, it's not that great because you tend to slide off a lot, which is what happens here. And if you count the seconds, it was a little longer than 3 seconds before he ends up getting back to turtle. So, just flawless performance by William Tackett against a really good guy who's, upsetting everyone. So, really dope. Let's move on to the next one. All right, we're in the finals against Andy Varela, and I've already shown this sequence here, but I'll show it again. And I'm only going to cover the second scramble, but if you want to see the first one, you should go watch the match. I mean, this shit was straight up fire. But he essentially wins off counter jiu-jitsu. Essentially, like right when you think you got him, he reverses it around and gets you, which is a trip. But watch here. And he essentially uses his dope head and arm setup that he does. So he goes for the pass, ends up snagging up a head and arm, and sits through, and he's trying to prevent him to sit through, but William just keeps like cutting that angle that makes him a little harder to finish. And look, as soon as he feels like he can flip over, flips over, gets the pass. So he gets points for, I guess, the reversal and then the guard pass, which gives him 4 points. And then look, cross face, head and arm, heavy pressure, cheek to cheek, right? Like, and he's not looking at him, dude. He's right there. Yo, this is what you got to learn if you want to win at the highest levels, right? Not like fancy leg entries, not buggy chokes. It's the fundamentals, the stuff that you're teaching white belts and blue belts, but at an impeccable level. And yeah, I mean, that's his run. And I'm telling you, shit was monstrous. We could all definitely learn something about his back takes. I mean, I got to work on my groin flexibility, my knee flexibility to get where this dude's at. But you can definitely see how, everyone's movement is different. And when you master your movement, the techniques just shine. So it's not the techniques themselves, it's the mastery of your own movement. Because he's not just doing like your basic back take from side control. This dude's doing like something completely different. Has a lot of space, but it gives him like so much room to throw his legs over the top and get these dope back takes. But yeah, I guess the three main takeaways that I noticed were were his defense. Everyone put him into something and he was able to escape out of it. His counter jiu-jitsu, his counter grappling. So it was like, not only would he escape, but he would get, as my coach would say, don't just escape, get even, right? So it's like, don't just get out and then, try to recover or like take a breath. Like if you get out of something, that's your best time to attack. And you see it there. And that's like a huge strategy in, like what you'd call the war of art, where, there's levels of technique and mastering, grappling, but then at a higher level, you start implementing strategies. When you no longer have to consume most of what you're thinking about the techniques themselves, but they come more naturally, then you start to think about strategies. And William is a perfect example of someone who's mastered like when to attack. And the last thing is his wrestle ups. I mean, I think there were 3 matches where his wrestle ups got him in key positions. So not only like do you have to be good at wrestling on your feet, but being able to go from a sitting position to a standing wrestling position is super important. Yeah, that's all I got with you guys. I've met William and his brother before. They're fantastic dudes. True martial artists, true beasts of the art. And I can't say enough good things about them. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Can't wait to see y'all next time. Follow, hit like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.